Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy, don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blending smooth like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers! Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy, don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Living loud, think it proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy, don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another show, another stream, another episode. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. We're at Sparta NCU Network. This is Operation Hangout. So, how is everybody doing tonight? So, we're talking about Armor Up. Who has the most powerful armor? So, this came in my idea the other day. I was flipping through shorts, aka TikTok, whatever you want to call it. And the question came up, who has the most powerful armor? But I'm also realizing as I'm doing research on this show, there are not that many armors out there. So, who does have most powerful armor? And that is the question of the night. And that is going to be the question we are going to discuss tonight and trying to break down. So, the armor. What armor are we talking about? We're talking about suits or actual armor? And that is the number one question. And there are a good amount of armors out there, but not as many as you think it is. Now, again, okay, Spider-Man, for example, he wears a suit technically, except if he was wearing the what is it called? The Iron Spider. Now it's just armor. Obviously, we know Iron Man has a armor, but who does have the most powerful armor? So, a couple of one of my friends, it's called the AI friend ChatGPT, and I typed that in. According to here says Iron Man is number one, Doctor Doom, I'll give him that, Batman, and Steel. Yeah, I'll give him that. I give him to him. I'm not gonna deny it. None of that. But now, if I scroll down even more. Anime manga is. I'm gonna wait for Dave to come in. We got Ec- Full Metal Alchemist. It had a Japanese name. That's why I couldn't understand it for a minute. Uh, Gosane and Gundam Pilot. I will not give Gundam Pilot this one. I'll take that away. It's a mobile suit, not a armor suit. So they're disqualified right there. Now, if we scroll down a bit more, we have the video game section. Master Chief, okay. Doomslayer, okay. Metroid, absolutely, yeah. She's a kick-ass one. Mass Effect, I haven't played Mass Effect, but I'll give him that because I'm not sure. Then you have the sci-fi realm. If my mouse wants to cooperate with me, be great. Lord of the Rings, Sonor. I'll give it a goddamn name. It is an armor. I can't take that away. It is an armor. My dear lane from Star Wars. Yeah. I gotta have to give him to that. Warhammer. I'm not familiar with Warhammer too much, so I cannot say yes or no. So that's where we're at right now. Which one is the most powerful armor is the question of the night. And it's going to be an interesting conversation, I believe. Because there's so many. I have to say, yes, Iron Man is probably on my top list. I can't deny that. If you deny Iron Man, what are we talking about? He's the number one. He created the armors. But is it fair to say is his the most powerful one? I want to say no. I don't think he has the most powerful one, to be honest with you guys. He probably has the most strongest. I'll give him that much. But I cannot sit there and sit here and tell you in good conscience Iron Man has the most powerful armor. Because the other one, I've now from that list I read. Let me bring my list back up here. Where are you? Here we are. So for my list, what I read today. Hang on, just one quick second. All right. Okay, yeah. All right. Iron Man's on the top list. Okay. Is it according to this? Is this because of his armor? Hulkbuster. Uh, what else is this? AI and the weapons. Okay, I'll give him that. Doom. His mysterious tech is armor. Yeah, whatever. So from the four superheroes we have Iron Man, Doom, Batman, and Steel. I'll probably give this a tie to Iron Man and Batman. Mariana, what is going on tonight? All right. So in the anime realm, I gotta take Gundam Planet out. So they're not even a part of it. So I gotta give the full metal acronymism because that's the only real armor that I am familiar with on this list. Now the video games, that's going to get a little complicated here. So Mass Effect, it is an armor, but is a military armor. All right. Metroid, I'll give it probably higher than Metroid. So Master Chiefs and Mass Effects, both are military. So do you count those two? Yeah, you got to. But are they the most powerful ones? No, I don't think so. I don't think those two guys are the most powerful ones. I think they're strong but not powerful in the video game realm. So, and Mariana, it's good to hear. Guys, that link is in the chat. If you want to join this conversation, please hit the link, camera up, Mic on. Um, Now in the video game, I would probably put it between Doomslayer and Metroid because Doom has some fucking sick ass fucking equipment on that armor. Um, but Metroid has a. When I first saw Metroid years ago, and I know I was very young and stupid, I thought it was a knockout version of Mega Man. But Mega Man is not an armor. I found out later on, it's actually a robotic. So it's same concept of thing with the hand. I think that's what made me think that the blaster hand. So we have those two. Now, who do I pick between my personal opinion? And that is going to be a tough one because Doom has his own powers, excuse me, own weapons for that. Let's see what my notes here says. Doesn't get I don't get into much details. But hey, Eric, what is going on? Enjoy your dinner, my man. So between those two armors, I don't know who I would pick. Would I pick Doom's armor or Metroid's armor? That is a rough one. That is a toss up because Metroid has some sick weapons on that armor, like Doom has insane powers. I mean, weapons on that. Oh man, which one do I pick? I can't pick this one because it depends on the switch I'm in. It really does. It really depends what switch you're in. But that's not a fair statement either. Who do you pick between those two? Jeez, I didn't think it would be this fucking hard. Wow, I actually this speechless. All right, guys, let's get this guy in here. He's running late. Let's give a round of applause for my little Twinkie little friend.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, Paul.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah, Paul.
If you're gonna do the parable, you got to put your back into it like you usually do.
No, it's more like my chest. Yeah, Paul.
There we go. Put your ass into it.
No, we don't do that. We put chest. That's African.
African people put a lot of ass into a lot of stuff.
No, we do. The only time we do it, it's on the lady side of things. I digress.
I'm gonna have this argument with you later. But
Yeah.
before we move on, um, we're talking about armors. And David, when I first did this show, and I hope you convinced Wally to jump on because I need his opinion on this one.
I told Wale to come in. He was like, "Oh no, I'm not getting." I said, "Cause it's another debate." Because when we talked about we will do this show on Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
I
I want
did
to
a
get
little. I did my own little research about it in depth, right? And at
okay.
first, it gave me a short list based
Oh, my
on
list is very short too.
each universe, but I was like, maybe I should
So,
rephrase the question again.
okay, this is the list I got, and after I read my list, I'm going to open. I'm going to let you have your opinion for a minute. Give
Hmm.
you the floor for a minute, and then we'll go right into it. I only have one video tonight, because I only found one video on Iron Man. I want to play that's an interesting one to me. So, in comic slash superhero, the list is as said, and I read it once. I actually read it twice. Iron Man, Doctor Doom, Batman, Steel. Two Marvel, two DCs. That's the one I got. I'm not saying it's right. This is what the Chat GPT gave me. All right. Now, if you scroll further down, anime versus mega, Full Metal Alchemist. I can't pronounce the fucking last part. The Gold Santin. Am I saying that right?
Go State Senior.
Yes. Then the third one, I am going to push back. As much as I am a huge fan of this anime,
Which
I
is what?
what's up?
Which anime you're referring to?
Gundam they have on the list, but Gundam is not an armor; it's a mobile suit.
That means it's the wording. It's the wording that you make mistake on because let me explain to you why I say that.
Okay, I'm
When I
listening.
when I did my own search, right, I particularly asked ChatGPT what are the most powerful armor in the Marvel, DC, and anime world. They give me a short list. They say the most powerful from Marvel is the God Killer Armor Mark II from Tony Stark slash Iron Man. That's one.
Okay, I have Iron
Honorable,
Man on my list. Go ahead.
honorable mention will be Thor Buster Armor, Model Prime Armor all in one suit, and Destroyer Armor, all under Iron Man. For DC, it will be the Hellbat Armor for Batman. Honorable mention will be the Motherbox Armor, Justice League War, Lex Luthor
Mhm.
War Suit, and Superman Prime. In
You know what I'm
the
surprised, and I'm surprised on that list is not the Batman Beyond suit on there.
no, that's the funny thing. I'm trying to think about why. Now, on a short list on anime, it puts the Sagittarius clock, the gold clock on Seiya. Honorable mention is Tsunano armor, Naruto, the Berserk armor in Berserk, the Mecha God armor from Tengen Toppa, Gurren, and the gold clock Seiya, because there are 12 of them. But out of the 12, the Sagittarius considered to be the more powerful armor. So I said, no, 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 nevertheless, we do this and put top 10. Long list. Now, for Marvel, ladies and gentlemen, this is what they're telling me from the very top. God Killer Armor Mark II from Tony Stark. Second armor is the Iron Man Phoenix Buster armor. There is Thor Buster armor, which is also from Iron Man. Destroyer armor for the Arcadian.
Hmm.
We have the Model Prime armor for Iron Man. We have the Bleeding Edge armor, which is also under Iron Man. We have the Endo Sim armor, Iron Man. Galactic Buster armor, Iron Man. Hulk Buster Classic, Iron Man. And the Stealth armor Mark 6 and Mark 7. All under Iron Man. You ever wonder everything is always under Iron Man?
Yeah.
Nothing under
Let me
any other
ask you a
person?
question really fast because this just popped in my head. Okay, you're one of the biggest anime gurus I have. Okay, fair
Okay.
statement. Is that a fair statement?
Fair statement.
Yeah, between you and Wally, you're my two gurus. Okay,
Okay.
Saber Riders. Hang on. Before you huff and puff like a goddamn
I know,
woman
I
on her
know.
period, let me finish my
Okay.
statement. Do you consider their suit and armor?
So about it, yes, I will consider the armor, but it won't be part of the top 10 because
Oh, I'll carry top 50.
mm, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that. Let me tell you why. Based on the humongous amount of anime that comes out, what I am surprised of, they didn't put solo leveling armor into play.
I haven't seen that one yet, so you know more about that than I do.
That's what I'm talking about
This is why I want you on this show because you
because
back on me because if we're just talking about comic books, it's gonna be a for short stream tonight. I'll be honest with you.
I know because they haven't put it up yet on the anime, but on the manga side, he have a unique armor was considered to be almost indestructible. It's on an you want to call it God tier? Yeah, it is God tier. Why it's not there, I don't know.
Which one?
From Solo Eleven, that's one of the main character, but they haven't shown up on anime yet. And there's so many other beside that from other anime.
This future Iron Man
It's like saying if you want to comb through all the armor that ever been seen in anime, it will take a group of us who will start pulling out all the latest anime and start pull out their armor and either the god tier or the demigod tier or there's a classism in place in anime. It is. It's ridiculous because in some anime the armor is based on level. If it is bronze class, silver class, gold class, titanium class, platinum class, god god tier class, like they create classism on armor, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to start comparing armor, there will be like a, I'm sure all the big headed anime guru over the social media will get into a dispute about that because when we start talking about armor, people start pulling out their card, their favorite. If it's not from Naruto, it'll be from Gurren Lagann. If it's not from Gurren Lagann, it'll be from Solo Leveling. If it's not from Solo Leveling, it'll be from Say Say. Say Say is an all-time classic because they got classicism as well, and they also got God tier and divine tier armor, which is ridiculous. Um, let's see. There's a bunch of other armors from multiple, and I've watched over, you're not gonna believe it, over 5,000 anime, and I've seen a lot of different armors over the years. So it's hard to pull. Unless I start pulling out list of every anime I've watched and see which one have armor, then you start put out the file out. It's when it comes to anime, it's hard to compare. It's hard to compete. And I think if you were to have that discussion on anime alone armor, we gotta get not just me and Wally, you get other people who are big time anime junk as I am, and even pull up armor from anime. I've heard of, but they have, and I might have pull up armor from anime I may heard of, but they haven't, and that comparing. Good, perfect example. Death Battle. They do that a lot. If you notice that, right? On YouTube. Anybody who familiar with YouTube, the YouTube channel called Death Battle. They like to compare different characters back and forth.
Oh yeah. I think Bat from the Sun does it.
Battle of the Sun used to do that first, but Death Battle do it for the longest. And they compare characters from different genres, from the Marvel versus the DC versus the anime, and they call out their specs, they call out the pros and cons, and they run the simulation. And this is why, thank you, Bubblegum Crisis, they got armor on that part. I'm telling you, if you want to list armors classes from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s, Ronin Warrior, that's armor. Even though you asked me for it, I put it in the Discord. There is not a reboot, it's a sequel. After 37 years, they're doing a sequel, which
Yeah,
again
I
is not
didn't get a
dead.
chance to go over that. To be honest with you.
They have armor too as well. So that's not being mentioned. Notice that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
now if you want
that's the ancient armor.
armor, is still armor. Either we like it or we don't. You get what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
when you start combing through a lot of animes, it it's going to be endless. It's going to be. There are so many heavy hitter in the anime genre. The Berserker armor. That's something I want to mention. That one. They're from the anime called Berserk. That armor
So hang
is
on, before we get too far ahead. Okay,
I'm not
so
getting too
in
far,
this,
but I'm staying in the
yeah,
area.
I don't want to finish this really fast before you go. So in the sci-fi era, we have the Lord of the Rings armor. So no more. I can't pronounce his fucking name, man. Then we have Star Wars, Mandalorian. I knew that was coming.
Hmm.
Warhammer. I am not familiar with Warhammer. Space Marines. Are you familiar with that?
Let Warhammer. That's from the particular game like sci-fi thing. I know what to talk about. Is no different from the Halo.
So that's funny you said that because now in a different section, the Halo video game section is ready. Master Chief,
That's obvious.
Doomslayer,
Obvious.
Metroid, obvious. You're gonna say, I know you're gonna say that already. And then Mass Effect.
Hmm.
What I am kind of pushing back on the list right now because you mentioned that, not because I knew that, because you said it, is Warhammer should be under the video game section. I think then,
Pretty
not
much.
sci-fi.
and here the problem. ChatGPT, I get on credit for trying, and when you complain about the Gundam thing, I saw that nonsense full armor Gundam, and that is not should be under that category. This is why I said we had to be discreet about what is considered armor. And not only they did that, they put the regular or the Crimson Queen, another mobile suit from another anime for Code Geass, but it's not an armor. It's a mobile suit. I'll find Eric armor that is an armor from Fullmetal Alchemist. So this is why I said another one, Val the Liberator, that is a mobile suit, it's not an armor. Armor of the Phoenix from Fairy Tail. Yes, Fairy Tail had an armor. The character Ezra Scarlet, she done over 100 plus armors.
Okay, well, let's throw the monkey wrench in this one now. Conversation.
Oh boy.
Fallout.
Fallout, that also a game, they have
Yep.
armors.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Fallout is under the video game category that have armor.
No, I'm not arguing that. What do you think about? Would you add that to the list? Their armor.
It's all about comparing on the strength wise with the durability. No,
Sorry,
you don't,
he,
it,
go ahead, finish your statement. Sorry.
it everything when it comes to armor is always based on a few categories: durability, strength, and longevity. Right? How long that armor will last due to what type of arsenal that you're dishing at it.
Not arguing that. So here's where I was stuck before you came on. This is where I was going back and forth, and I don't know how to pick this. Between the video game armor, my top two was going to be Doomslayer and Metroid. All right.
Hmm.
But how do you pick number one? I
I'm,
couldn't.
I'm,
I couldn't
I'm
figure it
I'm
out.
surprised you didn't put Master Chief into the mix. I'm surprised
I
you
would
didn't put
put
that.
Master Chief and Mass Effect together because they're both military suits.
Let me see.
So
I'm gonna talk my assistant.
cheater.
No, it's not a matter of being cheated because do you know how much content you got to go through to find this information? Because this, I'm not gonna lie, it's not that simple.
Oh,
So
shit.
I did that top 10 nano suit from Crisis series. There's a nano suit. Mueller Power Armor suit from Halo. That was a Master Chief. They say Master Chief has the Sparta 2. It's immune on that based on the material that built Thor hammer. Doom Slayer Patriot suit, yes. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. The Power Armor, which is based from Fallout series, which you mentioned. Samus Aran Power Suit from Metroid, which is mentioned. Kalion Wrath Armor, Shadow of War.
Rat armor.
Kalion's Wrath Armor. That's more Lord of the Rings. Elder Armor, Godfall. Abyssal Armor, Darksider series. Drugstech, no, the Drick Armor, Elder Scrolls series from Skyrim. The Arterial Armor, Monster Hunter series. And I will mention in the video game arena, Tony Stark Armor, which is also part of it. Iron Bear from Borderlands 3. Crimson Set from Code Vein. And the Rig Suit from Dead Space series. You see what I'm going? They
Mhm.
have to scan through a long list and get what they can find. So imagine if you were to do a thorough scan. You know how many anime? Let me ask my assistant. How many anime created?
You sound like King Smith right now.
Thank you very much. That's a compliment.
I wouldn't take that as a
Between
compliment, my man. I will not take that as a compliment.
1970 to 2025. So I asked my assistant, how many anime had been created between 1930 to 2025. And this what they did. Tell me that's crazy to you. From 1970 to 1980, about 1,000 to 3,000 anime were produced.
Holy fucking shit, man.
Hold your horses. From 1990s to 2000, about 3 to 5,000 anime were produced. And from 2010 to 2020, about 5,000 to 10,000 plus anime have been produced. So,
Oh my god.
yeah. So if you want to ask me on the end, you know how much material we had to go through and scam through?
David, I pay you for a reason. Start watching.
I need to see that paycheck first. So I can hire that assistant to we start pulling out anime mention where yeah it came out, where all the armor. And Saint Seiya is a franchise. They got ton of armors. We got the 12 Zodiac armor, which
All right,
are
before we
all
move on, I
gold.
want to answer Eric's question.
Go ahead.
So it's nothing really major. He was under the impression this is a analyze of tech-based power up. This is more a debate, I would say, right, David?
It's more debate, but
Debate
it,
to figure out who as the number one most powerful. I don't think we're gonna find that answer tonight.
because if you talk about tech based, that means you're limiting the list to a small number. Because there's some armor that's not even going based on tech. I mentioned Ronin Warrior. When I mentioned that, Ghost of Father said ancient. Yeah, it's ancient armor,
Oh, I think
but
it's sick ancient armor, bro.
but it's ancient armor. The technology is more of late, hand on pounding everything. But this is where it gets tricky. It's the material they're using.
Let me
They're
ask you this
using.
question, David. Which
Go
one
ahead.
do you find has the best balance of armor? Your personal opinion, of course. I'm trying to stay neutral here.
I will have to be objectively. Will go with among the Saint Seiya armor. I've watched the anime a lot. Many other anime out there, but Saint Seiya have a unique balance. We mentioned the 12 gold armor of the Zodiac. The top one is the Sagittarius armor.
Mm-hmm.
The liberal armor is the one that have a lot of weapons. The Gemini armor, it can be used by two individual or it can split into two. And they come saying every armor have its strong point and its weak point.
Absolutely, I agree.
So when you watch Sixty, everyone watch the Sixty franchise, you know that's what I'm talking about. They are classism. You got the gold, you got the silver, and you got the bronze. But on top of the gold is divine God tier armor. There's a requirement for that to be unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
But as you go down to each lower rank, there's more armor in the silver than that of the gold. But there's far more armor in the bronze than in the silver.
Okay.
It's kind of unique, right? So
Yes.
when you talk about say it's based on the zodiac, and I read a lot of manga, and I realize there's far more than just the 12 zodiac. There's different other star or constellation. That's how they base this armor on. So if you let you a historian about the constellation, then that'd be a long conversation. But there's a balance to that degree. Now there's other animes that it all depend on criteria and origin. When I mentioned the Berserk armor is not even a god tier, it's a demon tier. But it considered to be almost indestructible, but it have a disadvantage. The disadvantage about the armor is not that the armor will break. The armor consumes the user soul. If you don't have a strong will power, or your soul is not strong enough to resist the drawback of the armor consume you and turn you to a demon. There's another honorable mention that Gyro. They did an anime version of that and a live action version. These armor was designed for them to fight demons. But like most of the armor, the higher class armor, you can wear it for too long. Because you wear it for too long, same thing happen. It starts to eat your soul and almost turn you to a beast. There's an anime called Kill La Kill with a bunch of armor there as well. There's one another anime, Akima what was it, Akima something? This dude don't on an armor that's made from a magic beast. But the more power you exert from the armor, the more the armor trying to take over you. So when you look at a lot of anime, every anime have variation of armor. Some have drawback, some have major warnings. And based on the creativity by these anime, it will blow your mind to look at it like, I think we don't expand our imagination like these people have done. So you mentioned armor. Armor is when I grew up in the '80s, you were thinking one-sided thing based on what you saw back then in the cartoon era, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to ask you a question here.
Go ahead.
There are two animes that came in my head right now, right?
Hmm.
One specifically, and I know I'm while he's going to give me a shit. I hope he does jump on and gives me shit for it
Uh
because
oh.
because I miss the little guy. It's a little
Wally,
elf.
if you're hearing, I know you're a debater.
I
You
gotta put
all
it,
about
Wally.
fact.
I am calling your ass out. Get your ass on here. So, Techno Man, what's
you
in the
really,
bag?
you really had to do that, right? You really had to go and mention that. Wally, you see what he's doing, right? This is what's in the bag.
Oh, that's not Techno Man, so I'm okay.
Uh, Technomet
Hey, ladies and
armor.
gentlemen, we're not sponsored by them yet.
No, we're not sponsored. It would be nice if we were sponsored, but we're not.
Yeah.
I had to buy
Anyway,
it. Technoman, based on that armor, and I looked at it, and I will consider that armor more on a silver class armor. It won't be up on a gold level, but more on the silver class. But I'm telling you, looking at the long list of anime that out there are a ton of armors that strength level that surpass Technoman, and they like at least 4 or 5 level above it.
mhm.
That's why I
So
say
you
when it
put
comes,
them what in the top 10 or top 20 tier?
I can't. I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
Neither.
It's impossible to be honest with you. I'm being real. I'm being objectively real with you.
But also, don't forget, Techno Man transformed to Super Techno Man mode.
I know. Trust me. I
So
know
what would you give me like a ballpark
because
number? What you put them?
they know why I cannot put them there because to put them there, then that means I had to put all the Power Ranger armor into play.
So you don't put Techno Man is gonna be top 100 at least.
You remember how many anime I said they're being produced?
Yeah, just give me a number. That's all I'm asking you.
It's hard.
All right,
Ask
so you
any
don't put even a top
no
100,
no
not even.
I'm telling you right now. If you want to try the top 100 conversation, then you asking 10 anime gurus to start pulling out a list of armor and you start listing them out. The bad part about it, technically, man, we're not gonna reach the top 100 because there's so many
But
other anime.
that's all I want to hear. He want to hear on. That's fine. Let me ask you not this anime guy now. All right,
Okay,
Guyver.
Guyver will be considered one of the top 20 because one, those who are a fan of that franchise will say that the anime production studio they're not fully flush out all the armor they have. In Guyver, there's actually 3 armors. 3. 2 of the armor was shown in the anime series. The third one have not been shown. Reason why nobody knows. We also know there's an elevation for the armor. to get even stronger. That was not produced in the anime for some apparent reason. So that's an honorable mention.
Hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying that, Gaiva is a bio booster armor. It's a very unique armor that it latch onto the host and become one with the host. And what makes it unique about that particular armor was one of the first of its kind. You could get destroyed along the core is still intact. You cannot die. You regenerate. So anybody who remember the guy with the Bio Booster armor anime series, you all more familiar about that. You understand that very, very well. Eric, you're correct. But that will be a long list, Eric. Remember, Guy Diver was not mentioned in the list and when I did it through ChatGPT. And ChatGPT overlooked that.
So I'm gonna really push back a little bit with the Technoman part of it. Guyver, I would put him in the top 20 myself.
Like I say, it an honorable mention. It should have been a top 20, but problem is, they didn't flush it all the way through.
But
According to the
I
manga,
also put Technoman in the top 20. But I'm biased because he's my
I,
favorite
I
anime.
know you're biased. I'm objective because when you watch so many anime and see so many different armor, then you start to question which one is stronger than the other one. Let's not forget, He-Man got armor.
He does?
You serious, right? You really
He's
serious?
running a little fucking speed up most of the show.
See what I'm talking about? This is what I'm telling you. When there's a lot of anime that happen overlooked over the year, we start to realize we realize these will have armor and it varies.
Hmm.
Some of these armor is based on how you tell this, mythology, like either Thor or the Greek, and like I said, it's based on property and principle. That's the unique thing about some anime are built based on material that you don't find on Earth, but its durability is surpass what you expect. Perfect example. When Thor said he built his armor using the same material that built Thor hammer, you don't think a lot of anime have that same fundamental, same philosophy to it as well? Using unique ancient material that is hard to find, that requires certain method to melt it? Imagine having an armor that's so damn indestructible, any sword can even crack it. You know you try.
Hmm.
Let me see. Let me put a list. I want to act it, but I don't think it will get no. I don't think Chatty can redo that because, like I said,
As you're doing that, here's another question for you. Tech wise, like Iron Man shoot, obviously.
mhm,
Which one do you think has the upper edge? If you say Iron Man, I'm slapping you.
no, Biobuster have an edge over Iron Man suit.
Who?
Guyver Biobuster armor have an edge over Iron Man suit.
I would say Metroid.
No, maybe you didn't hear what I just mentioned. The way the bio armor suit was designed, it can it can elevate itself to so many different levels unheard of. That is one.
Hmm.
Two, that armor is almost considered indestructible. Remember what I said. And no one familiar how that armor operates. You can remove the core and throw it away and destroy that armor right there and there. Along that core thing existed, it regenerates from that core and come back all together at one. Iron Man armor cannot do no such thing. That is a major advantage. Plus, the Mega Blaster is devastating.
True. All right, before we move on, I want to play one video really fast. I think you may enjoy this video actually. Let me get it set up. I just came across it by accident a second ago, so I want to play it. We watch it together, right, David?
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
That be the heavy debate. Yeah, put that to
Well,
a
we can have
Muslim
a debate, not
convention.
tonight, but I have it. I added to my list of scheduled stuff that needs to be going up.
1990 to 2020.
So, what do you think? Which one you think at the moment, at least?
I'll take Metro.
To me, the toss up is a 50-50 mix to me because both have unique weapons. Both of them have the unique abilities. Both of them have their upper edge in their own departments.
Here's funny. I redo my question again. I said top 20 most powerful anime armor from 1990 to 2020, right? It gonna mention Avengeline Unit 1. That's not an armor, that's a mobile, so I'll cross that one out. Gold and God Cloth from Seiya. Sanketsu from Killer Kill. Remember I mentioned that anime?
Yeah, yeah.
Bazooka armor from Bazooka. Gaiva Booster armor from Gaiva. It will mention Strike Freedom Gundam. That is a mobile, so not an armor. I don't know why they do that. Tsunado armor for Naruto. There you go. The name is Ekusio for Agami Go Kill. It's a demon Tegu that evolved, grant invisibility, nuclear level resistance. Keyword nuclear level resistance. Yet Athena Cloth from Tathea. Yet a golden armor Gilgamesh from Fate Stay Night. They mentioned Titan, the armor Titan from Attack on Titan. That's I don't know. You can call that an armor. I don't know. You can do that, but that's a question mark. Lancelot Albion, Guen Sentai 8 element from Code Geass. That's a mobile, so I don't know why they act that. White Album from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Everybody forgot about that one, right? Okay then. Oasis, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, another one. Don Craig Armor. You had the Gant suit from Gant. Yeah, that is an armor. Gant suit is a high-tech combat suit that enhances strength durability against bullet and aliens. You have the Nakagami armor from Fairy Tail. I mentioned that before. The white armor of Inferno, Running Warrior. Remember that I mentioned that?
Yeah, I think that definitely has a place to in it.
And I'm surprised you will see that. Number 19, Oscar 2 from Active Raid. And 20, you mentioned Tekkaman Blade. I'm surprised.
20?
Yeah, according to ChatGPT. I set a timeline from 1990 to 2020.
I just gotta say, what is when you see a masterpiece in work, I'll take 20 over 100 any day.
Which I'm surprised.
I'm not. He's that awesome.
No, because I put it to 20. I didn't put it up to 2025. It was 2025. And I put anime. If I put anime plus manga, then the list will be exploded. Summit already had flight, yep, range attack, yeah. But her is battle tested beyond ages. This is why when we talk about armor, I think we're not gonna do it justice if we get all the big anime heads in the conversation and start pulling out names left and right. It's like only you do like a dead battle comparison. And that's the actual truth. So imagine I take what I mentioned, right? I will rephrase the question to ChatGPT again. And this time I put it from anime and manga. The list may change
I bet you is going to. I
because
just
there's
hope I hope my guy's still in the top 20. I'll be happy with that. Maybe they may remove them up. And you know, it'd be
no,
funny if they actually moved them up.
it would be funny, but I'm waiting to see what happens. As
Go
I'm
ahead,
checking right now.
read her off.
Oh boy, let me start from one. A Vigilant Unit 1, I don't know why they keep doing that. I crossed that one out. Gold and God Close and Seiya. That character from Killer Kill. 3. 4 is Berserker Armor from Berserk. 5. When I say top 20, it's top 5. Gaiva Bar Booster Armor. That's 5. 6.
I'll do that.
They give Strike Free Gun, it's not an armor, the mobile, so I don't like keep making that mistake. Sonato Armor number 7 is Naruto. 8 is Nakagami Armor, Fairy Tail. 9 is Crucial Armor from Agami no Ga Kill. 10 Armor Titan, I don't know why I keep mentioning that one. White Album from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Oasis from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Gantsuit is 13. Golden Armor is 14. White Armor of Inferno, Golden Warrior, is 15. Heaven Will Armor is 16. Lightning Empress Armor is 17. 16 and 17 and 18 from Fairy Tail. Flame Empress Armor is what is 18. 19 Alfonso Eric Armor for Atomic Full Metal Alchemist. 20 Death Deathman. Deathman had an anime. Why didn't it pop up? You know what I'm talking about? Death Alpha Suit. That's the armor.
So, because we're talking about suits, I want to bring one more video I have tonight.
Go ahead.
One more or two more? One more. This is Iron Man one. I just found it very interesting, and I think we'll at least have a conversation about it. I'm not saying it's going to be a major play. It's at least a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This future Iron Man armor is Tony's ultimate weapon. In Marvel Adventures Superheroes Issue 3, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Hulk are pulled into a battle against Kang the Conqueror. But the real shock comes when an alternate Tony Stark arrives, wearing an upgraded Iron Man suit that's beyond anything they've seen. This futuristic suit has a sleeker and more biological-looking aesthetic, and future Iron Man can teleport effortlessly, rescuing 50 hostages in seconds. And when he activates the Nova Wave, he doesn't just attack, he vaporizes Kang's entire headquarters from a distance. It's less of a repulsor blast and more of a one-man nuclear strike, proving that in the future, Iron Man will reach a whole new level. With the ability to teleport, Iron Man can save more people and prevent collateral damage, and with the Nova Wave, he can take on powerful enemies with godlike strength. Over the years, we have seen many variations of Iron Man suits from the future, but this suit equipped with various abilities has to be the best. This future
Keyword from the future, which means it either Tony Stark found a way to keep himself alive to live that
Mhm.
long, to make that long list of armor, because as much as his brain runs itself, he had to get hold of different materials that a lot of the create such a ability. Right now, and according to Marvel, the most powerful material on Earth is what?
Vibranium, isn't it?
Bingo. And what material that can compete with vibranium? Munor, the material
Uh,
that create Thor armor, well, hammer, right? So imagine if Iron
the
Man had
only
to.
catch to that is in the new Captain America movie.
Mhm.
They're saying is a new element now, a new metal that is stronger than vibranium. Swallow.
Origin, where?
I can't- I remember where it was.
I mean, it's not from Earth.
Yeah, I don't think it was from Earth.
It's where you draw it with a core invariable. When it's not from Earth, where you getting the metal from? You getting it from Asgardian? You getting it from the demon realm? beginning from another universe. You do what I'm saying,
Yeah, I'm
right?
gonna look up right now. But keep going.
This is why the same fundamental apply on the anime side of things. But there's so many unknown main material. What did ever call it?
Smart ass.
That was a good one. I give everything that
I,
one.
uh,
I think
I can't pronounce this word really, Dave. I'm gonna put it in the chat too. But Adimmunion
what?
is in the chat right now.
Antimanium. That is alien like. Was it the same material that made Wolverine Claw?
Oh yeah,
Technically,
you're right.
technically,
I didn't
technically,
process it.
antimanium and vibranium are both from not Earth, originally speaking. They're coming from outer space.
Okay, that I'm not arguing. I'm not saying that
Vi-
material is
vibranium
showing in it.
hit based on Stan Lee. Vibranium first hit Africa ages ago. How it replicates itself over time is a question mark. Antimonium was the metal that they got hold of in Canada and have Wolverine going through the process of having his whole entire bone
Mhm.
coated with it. Which was very excruciating, but the reason why he's able to do that due to his healing factor. But turn to find out in the comic book, that metal was deteriorating his healing factor over time.
Mhm.
Meaning the more
Poisoning
he
him.
yeah, bingo. The more he was using it, the slower his healing factor was healing him, meaning he's not supposed to have that in his body at all to begin with, which was crazy. So it's almost like saying you're forcing your healing factor to fight with this thing over how long you stayed alive. You know, if he never had it in his body, Wolverine would have been a full-blooded immortal.
Good point.
They're being annoyed about it. But it's like saying he lost his mortality from having that metal in his body.
I said, yeah, good point there.
So that's why I say when it comes to anime, oh god. Remember, I'm gonna go up to the list of anime that we didn't even get a chance to talk about. Deadman, that was an anime franchise, short but good. Fairy Tale, we have one lady have over 100 armors, 100, and she changed them like this. One in Warrior, White Armor of Inferno. You and I both know that one very well. Fate Stay Night, Golden Armor, based on Gilgamesh, based on a particular either they couldn't he's a hero. I forgot what mythology that is, but he was considered to be the king of all kings because he has so many weapons. So his armor probably be godlike. Yeah, Gant, the body armor suit they have, it enhance their strength and their speed and ability against the alien. You have Jojo Bizarre Adventure. There's a couple of armors in there as well. Inquisitor wasn't the only armor that was there, but it could have been more powerful armor. So imagine an armor that evolved into mid battle, grant invisibility, but a nuclear level. Have you ever had an armor that allows you to buy a nuclear blast? Nuclear level. That's crazy. Then you have Naruto, where you armor in that anime. Buy a booster, which is the part of the top five. Remember that I mentioned they have 3 armor, and they got level to this. Haven't been mentioned. Sengetsu, Killer Kill. Talk about Seiya. We got ton of 'em. I don't know why you keep mentioning eventually, and I'm sure there's other anime it does not remember. Let me see. Let me put it out.
Here's one that's gonna throw a monkey wrench in this whole conversation. Escafone.
Mobile Suit.
You think it's a mobile suit?
It is.
But it needs your blood to activate.
I know. It's not no different from Mobile Gundam. Some Gundam was designed for them to operate by a particular person. Genetic.
I guess you're right
Hello.
for once.
I'm telling
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
I'm
I'm
telling
not
you.
arguing. You're my expert to this stuff. That's why I have you on the show. Duh. Like, okay, so I just redid another list again. I want to see where they come out this time. The new list they came up with was Iron Man, Doctor Doom, Batman, Steel. That didn't change, but they added Blue Beetle. I'll give him that.
Blue Beetle armor is almost unscalable. You can't scale the armor because there's so many levels to that. So guess what I did? I say, let me mention the top 20 armors in solo leveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top one are Elite X-Rank gear and mythical. They're the Red Knight helmet, they're the Demon Monarch armor set, the Almighty Kagarin armor, which could be a SS tier. You have the Hard Leather Toughness armor, Black Lion armor, Skeleton armor, Behemoth armor, Expert armor, one hit kill. Seriously? Destroyer armor? You see what I'm saying? That all under one anime. You got New Hunter armor set, Dragon Knight, Holy armor set, Black Lion armor. You got the Burning Curse armor set. You got the Berserker armor. You got Guardian armor set. So imagine certain anime have a long list of armor. And not just one. So imagine how many other anime out there that also have long list of armor. So what are we gonna pull from? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets crazy. Say Seiya have a long list of armor itself alone. That would throw you off.
So you said Blue Beetle is on a different scale. What do you mean by that?
First and foremost, it's not a regular armor built on Earth. It's an alien type armor. There's considered to be 5 of them. And based on the color, they say the Blue Beetle armor is considered to be a unique armor of itself. It was designed built to be greater than that of the green, the black, the red one too as well. And how far the armor being pushed, they have not fleshed out the full idea behind it.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, the Blue Beetle armor is more likely more powerful than Iron Man armor. Reading why I say the Blue Beetle armor, if anything, it can hack any other armor and take control of its own. It have a life form of its. It's not no AI thing. It have a life form of itself. A armor that have its own life form. Make it make sense. And coming from a more advanced civilization than that of Earth. And what did the armor, the beetle armor does? The blue beetle, a latch onto the host into its DNA. It's not so.
True.
So you want to tell me that it's not possible this armor could be way more powerful than the Iron Man armor?
Well, let's find out, David.
It's hard to find out because you just stop pointing out the variables.
Hang on a second. I have a
Could Blue Beetle whoop Iron Man's butt? Iron Man, aka Tony Stark, is a genius billionaire with a suit packed with high-tech weapons and gadgets. He's faced gods, aliens, and even his own friends. The suit gives him super strength, flight, and an arsenal of missiles and lasers. Jaime Reyes, the Blue Beetle, has an alien scarab attached to his spine. This scarab can create weapons, armor, and wings for flight. It even has a mind of its own and can react faster than Jaime can think. Blue Beetle's tech is otherworldly, literally out of this world, making it adaptable unpredictable and insanely powerful. So, who would win? Iron Man's experience and strategic mind are huge advantages, but Blue Beetle's scarab tech is unpredictable and can evolve during a fight, giving Jaime advantage. The real question is, can Tony's advanced tech outsmart the scarab's alien intelligence? Tony's suits have been hacked before, and the scarab might find a way to do the same. In a straight-up brawl, Iron Man's vast arsenal might give him the upper hand initially, but Blue Beetle's scarab could quickly level the playing field and then will beat Iron Man. Could Blue
Go ahead. Well, you fucking talk already.
I'll put it like this. That right there is hand down business plan. Remember that I mentioned that. Didn't I mention that it could happen?
I never argued with you. Like you
I
making
didn't.
me a bad guy
No,
tonight.
no. I don't think you argue with me, but I did mention that. They say the armor is what's the phrase? Overwhelming. Like is what would that word they say? Overworldly. You cannot comprehend it. The alien intelligence is beyond Tony Stark level of comprehension.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
All right, before you open your big mouth, David, let's get my boy in here. Wally, what is going on, my man?
Well, first and foremost, I only came up on here because the moment I heard, as I was listening in the background scenes laying down, I ended up hearing about anime armor, and there was a name of Naruto. I'm sorry, name the armor, sir. Name the armor.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he has a good point. I can't argue with that
Yes,
one.
name the armor, because last time I checked, if you're talking about the tail beasts are not armor.
Yeah, I can't sit there and argue because hang on, let me finish my statement because I have not seen the whole series yet, so that's why I'm taking damage.
Don't worry. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, the name of the armor is Susano armor. The full
Susano
body
by
chakra.
who?
Who else used Susano?
Again, speak it too. From who?
It's not Naruto. It's the other individual, the rival.
Again, go ahead. Say the name.
Itachi and Itachi little brother. It based on that's what they mentioned. I didn't call it. That's what they mentioned in ChatGPT.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, so from that standpoint right there, I do not call them armor. I call those spiritual avatars. I do not call them armor.
And you're totally correct.
Have a good point.
Now, technically, I will also say on fair notice, if you would say on fair notice, right? Yes. Could you also technically call them armor? Yes, because technically they could place you in a protective self, in a protective So if you remember on their foreheads, you could be placed right there, and technically, yes, it will be quote unquote protected armor. Mm-hmm. But because of that, you also have to think about it. What is the context of armor? That's the point right there.
And you're totally correct. No. And you're totally correct. This is why I said when they meant it's like the definition is not being clear because it mentioned Strike-Free Gundam. I'm like, what the hell is Strike-Free Gundam doing this?
Gundam is not an armor. I don't give a shit what it is. It's a mobile suit. Like you said, Escafon is not even an armor, and you're right. I had to think about that for a minute. It's a suit, a mobile suit. Wally, please correct me if I'm wrong. Jump in anywhere you're ready.
Well, I mean, let's be real. If you added any versions of the mobile suits, technically that would just be a rough sell anyways. Because again, one, it's way too much big. Two, when you think about the basic terminology of armor, it's, it's pretty much a mechanical suit that is wrapped around your body. So, Bingo. Yeah. Now, granted, I will say this, right? As I do my own little background check, yes, they do consider Tsunade as an armor but here's the technical terminology that they use. Magical and mystical armors. So by technicality of chakra, but not physical armors, this is technically an armor. But here's the problem though. Like I said before, because it's more of a avatar, that can put you in a protective placement, I wouldn't consider it armor. Because again, it has to wrap around the body. Now, if he was fused with it, now I say that's armor. But he's not. So no.
And I agree with you on that one.
You cannot sit there and argue that's an armor because, like Wally said, is not.
And I'm
It's a
not
spiritual
arguing.
armor. I'm not saying you did. I'm just having a discussion. If it's not a physical armor, like,
And this is
you know
where
what I'm saying?
me and Wally have this issue. When you were mentioning armor, there are too many variable people want to throw into the mix of it. And based on the term, that armor is something it mechanical be put around your body completely. It was going on King Smith, but the problem is that too many mentions that not shouldn't be to play because they also mentioned armor titan. Now, we could that be an armor, Wally? Yes or no?
Armor Titan.
On Attack on Titan.
No, I heard of it. I mean, I don't know about that, so that's the only one I cannot dispute per se. I mean, I have
What?
to see it to know. Remember, remember, sir. I haven't fully watched Attack on Titans yet, so I don't know.
You need to because one, it's a titan, a huge tall ass beast, but it had its own armor. We don't consider that the armor. No one can wear that armor except that beast. So I don't know why it considered to be an armor, but I find it contradicting.
I mean, well, so they said, okay, so I'm looking at a picture, right? Well, so well, here's my technicality here. So, oh, this guy really went there.
Hey, we're gonna talk about armors or what? Hey, if
Okay.
we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right.
Okay, he went there with it. Okay,
Hey,
well,
wait, let me finish my intro.
This is Sparta!
oh,
you take over, Wally.
it truly is. Okay, well, let me get myself together. Okay, so all right, so
Get your armor on before you get on.
looking at this picture of the armored Titan. So in fairness, so if you watch X-Men and you look at Spike when after he drunk in the little sports drink, which was pretty much mutant effective juice, and you saw what happened to his body after a change later down the stretch, and he got his little bone armor. Yeah, that would be considered armor.
That's true. And here's the funny thing about it. X-Men had a lot of armors in play, but we never mentioned none of their armor they use.
Like who?
Wait, say that again. Wait, say your statement again.
I believe X-Men had a bunch of armor being created for certain characters, but never been mentioned.
Like who? Like I said.
I'm trying to figure out which one in particular. Cause I remember
Certain people had armor, but they never was in mention. I mean,
Spike take
Hold on.
no, you consider Spike as a no.
Spike was, but his
Juggernaut-
armor was more wood.
Juggernaut had the armor. I remember that one for sure. I remember one time they made special one.
Do you
for-
really consider Juggernaut's suit of armor?
Good question.
That's a good point there.
Because
Yeah.
literally, like, I mean, it all depends, but depending on how they suit him up, like helmet wise, yeah. I mean, you can understand it would say armor because the helmet is a special, mechanic because of Xavier. But then the bodysuit alone, after that, now that's something you have to consider.
Well,
So,
same thing with Magneto. He had a special helmet designed.
Right.
There's
But my thing is,
I-
but does he have like an armored suit?
Phoenix-
That's
Phoenix Force armor, Jean Grey. You had the Apocalypse Celestial armor. You had the Magneto.
Well, okay,
armor.
Apocalypse is obvious.
Colossus Organic Steel armor.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Because
War
Colossus
armor.
definitely had armor. That's obvious.
War armor, Archangel Techno Organic Wing. You got Storm helmet.
That's
You
considered
got
armor.
Danger. Yeah,
Archangel's wings after he.
That's
went
not
to
fucking
the-
armor. That's just part of his powers.
that's
Well,
what
no,
it's
that's part of his mutation. But even
war,
then,
it's a war armor, but it's Archangel Techno Organic. Big on top
war
now.
armor, my ass. Oh, the fuck?
That's what they call it.
Shit,
Don't have
me.
So I did it in my assistant.
Forge
It was Colossus,
combat
Magneto.
exosuit,
I'm sorry, go finish
and
there. I'm sorry.
so there's a Forge combat exosuit for a mutant called Forge. There's the Iron X armor. There's going to be Iron Man plus X-Men crossover. There's a Cable Techno Organic armor. And honorable mention, you'll be surprised, the Juggernaut armor is also mentioned with the gem of Cytorak. There's the armor.
It's funny because when I did in my search in the GPT chat, I got Colossus first, and I don't consider him as an armor because that's just part of his mutation.
Well, no.
True.
Well, you got to think about it because you got to think about it. The reason why I somewhat would consider Colossus metallic, well, not metallic, but what is it called?
Armor.
No, not armor, but the actual terminology of his adamantium. So his adamantium like skin or body texture,
Mm-hmm.
I would say is armor because you got to think about it. Like again, just for like certain proclivities of what you would have based it because it's covering his body and it's literally making his skin protected from actual like physical damage. I would say it's armor.
Okay. So the next one on the list is Magneto, and we already spoke about that. Juggernaut, we spoke about.
I'm not always fully suited with armor. As a master.
Warlock.
Apocalypse.
Okay.
Warlock to have his own. There's Phoenix Force armor for Jean Grey.
They got Forge.
The Apocalypse Select. Forge.
Okay,
That was
wait a
saying. There's a lot of armor in X-Men.
Go ahead.
Pause. Wait, you said Phoenix Force.
Phoenix Force never had an armor.
Phoenix
Did it?
Force armor. Jean Grey have armor.
By what technicality? What is the definition?
But what it's saying, no, it's not a traditional armor. The Phoenix manifestation visually appear as an armor and function as an energy armor.
Okay, so so again, technicalities. Because I was about to say, because when they said Magneto,
I know
they said he doesn't have a full armor suit, but thanks to his master of magnetism, he can form an armor. And I was like, all right, well, yeah, you can form an armor, but you don't have armor, so that's different. I don't hear that. Wait, Storm can form an armor.
This is why I said,
while technically known as Morpher, Storm has been dedicated wearing a vibranium. Really? Since when?
I never heard that.
see what I'm telling you?
No, Storm has a vibranium
surprised.
armor.
Who's her husband?
Okay, so that must have been later on.
Who's Storm?
No, I know that, but again, that's still later on, though. That's what I'm like. I never know that.
Okay. So you don't think he would protect his wifey? Hello.
That's not the point. The point is, you never had the armor like that, though.
She didn't have it earlier until she met.
But that's my whole point.
When she met with royalty, she had to get royalty back in there. That's my point. Right or wrong?
I'm gonna say this one more time. I did not know she had that at the beginning.
Well, the problem with Storm, you keep forgetting who Storm is and who she.
I mean, it's not the fact of that. My fact is, did she ever even had it? That's the point. I'm asking.
She had, and here's the thing: Storm have been written so many times in different variations, whereby she locked up with she matched up with T'Challa, aka Black Panther, and that's when she got her armor. Another time they rewrite her storyline and said she linked up with Wolverine, with I don't know where that was coming from.
What you mean you don't understand where that was coming from?
Because the original story, she linked up with T'Challa, with the Black. She put
I know that, but you got to also think about it too. You know how many different comics of Wolverine that they already slain that he has multiple children of and like overpowered mofos.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he was a long distance international Pookie. I get it.
You got to stop this Pookie shit.
I need to get a Pookie butt in here for you.
You can do that. We need one. Any character we know who the Pookie, they press that button.
Well, I guess you may as well just call it for everybody because Cyclops got some too. The fuck?
Oh, you wonder why Jean Grey do kind of whoop his ass every now and then? Like, what the hell are you doing?
It's called This is what happens when we go back and forth on our fucked up relationship.
and here's the thing: when we start mentioning series or franchise, we thought we were like we forgetting that some of these series or a lot of these they have armors that never been mentioned, been overlooked. That's why I was telling Peter on the anime side of things, there are way too many armor to mention. And you need a bunch of head beside me and you to just boil it down to the top. And ChatGPT or DeepSeek cannot really comprehend that because they'll keep making mistakes. And mobile suit is not the same as an armor, but somehow it will still do that. So I think there will be a real show. We do a real collaboration, have some big anime heads come in here, and we start doing our homework. Let's say a month from now, start putting a list together of all the anime that have armor and start comparing. Guys, to mention Solo Lovin.
Now
Solo
the question
Lovin
is, do you
had an
have
armor.
anybody in mind?
Whew.
Wait, what was the question?
If you want to do a
I was asking
collaboration,
Dave,
a
does
month,
he have anybody in mind that he can bring on? You guys can go head to head with you guys, like maybe the anime our team versus their team kind of thing.
So, anime versus traditional armor shows or comic cartoons armor.
That's what they want to do.
that would be a nice discussion. But I need to know who have a deep knowledge of anime and manga and comic book, both DC and Marvel, and start pulling out lists that haven't been mentioned.
I ain't gonna
No,
lie, it's gonna be an ugly fight.
there you go.
Here's the only reason why I say this, because have anyone mentioned Power Rangers yet?
I did not mention that already earlier.
Did you? I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Briefly, I don't want to add the Power Rangers one because they're not technically armors; they're suits.
See, you know what? That's that fight right there. See, hold on, let me go look.
Because I'm a huge Power Ranger fan,
And
I will argue
and
to the death for that one.
here it is though. In the Power Ranger series,
And they do have astro armors, yes,
bingo.
yeah, but they need to be use their morphing powers from the morphing grid to get their suits on to get their astro armors.
And don't forget Kamen Rider.
Oh, that's a
You see? You see?
I'm not going there because I don't have enough information on that.
And there's Ultraman on top of that. That's even another one too.
Okay,
So,
here's one. Here's one. Will you consider his an armor or just a helmet? Ant-Man.
Who?
Ant-Man.
That's not armor. That's a suit.
But the helmet is
the helmet. I mean, then okay. So are we gonna give that to Magneto the same way?
No. I'm not saying that. But his helmet is just a helmet. Are we agreeing on that?
The helmet's just a helmet, but I mean, even then, I mean, the helmet's not what allows him to shrink and go up and down, but
his suit does.
Yeah, but my thing is it considered armor? The answer is no.
How do you guys feel about the Iron Spider?
The Iron Spider.
Armor.
Iron Spider, as far as for the for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes, armor.
Don't forget.
Also, there are two different versions of it too. There are three versions. The MCU version, you have Spider-Man Ultimate. That's a argument to have. Some people consider the suit, some people on armor.
When you say Ultimate, are we talking about with the nanofiber?
Yes.
Suit.
And then you have Spider-Man 2099.
Suit. That's not an armor.
Okay.
What about the Hulk? What are the Planet Buster armor? I remember the Hulk had an armor.
He did?
He did. Remember, at one time, he was the king of another planet.
I don't remember that for some reason. What the fuck is CQ want to need his goddamn
Hulk
ass?
Buster. Isn't Hulk Buster the thing that Iron Man made to equalize Hulk?
Yeah, but Hulk had his own particular armor that was made for him by his.
Yeah, when he was over there and on the on the separate. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I know, yeah, but I mean, does it really even do anything?
good question.
I mean, it's just armor. Like, we just saying just for the sake of armor, then that's technically yes, but because technically you'll go into the regular standards of Berserk as just traditional armor and all that stuff. But
And I did mention Berserk. I also mentioned Berserk armor in the Berserker is not a normal armor. There's a drawback, and that's the armor you consider to be the curse armor. Meaning, whoever wear it, if you don't have a strong willpower, you don't have a strong sword, that thing will devour you.
so real quick, it is proven factual that Power Rangers Battleizer suit is an armor suit.
I never argue that. But you,
Oh yeah, but just for context, it is an armor suit.
yeah. But you cannot just use it. You have to be morphed to use it. That's the only catch.
Ladies and gentlemen, our resident
Well,
encyclopedia, Eric is losing his mind. He said, "Why and when did the Hulk ever needed an armor?"
it's called when he went up there to get fadondled and have some fun time over there in the Greek god section. That's when he needed some armor.
You've reached your limit on talking.
I'll keep on talking because I'm speaking the truth.
He told the truth, but it's funny.
I don't remember that. You sure it wasn't Valhalla?
Oh,
Hey, regardless,
no.
whatever he was doing, all I know is he was having fun.
It could have been in Africa, where,
no
with
offense.
David's sister.
No offense. Hulk cannot be in Valhalla, and that's the reason why.
Why is that?
Can't or he shouldn't.
He shouldn't. You know why? All those back will be pregnant, literally.
Yep.
No,
That's why Hulk always say
David,
Hulk
it's fine.
mad.
You don't want. I don't want him in Mount Olympus. We don't want him in Valhalla. We'll just drop him in Africa with you.
Nah, he don't. He's not gonna be no problem. But I'm telling you, if you have Thor in Valhalla, all the Valkyrie will not do their job because they'll be pregnant. That's one. And guess who'll be pissed? Odin and Thor.
I guess that's why freaking Thor was sent. Well, not Thor, but that's why Hulk was sent to what that woman was in the comics. That sicko that constantly just keeps pushing his threshold that can't survive not even a couple of motherfucking moments.
Because believe me, everybody know in Asgard that Hulk is the strongest. No one can compare to him. Literally. But my issue is this, that putting him in the mix in that area, I'm like, no. They're like strong men. And Hulk is too damn strong.
Yeah, as long as he stays Hulk.
You don't think they're gonna make him angry to get Hulker? Like, okay, nah.
Hey, look, all Hulk has to do is just find another Thanos. You'll see my point.
Well, I have a bone to pick here for a second. Hang on. Shut up over there, Pookie. So my issue is with Spider-Man, Iron Spider-Man. He's already powerful enough with his Spider powers, or whatever you want to fucking call it. The Iron Spider, I feel it's kind of stupid at the point.
Hey, that's Iron Man's tech for you. We want to use it.
Technically,
I'm
Iron Man,
not saying that. I'm just saying in my opinion.
but it's not really Iron Man tech. No, it is Iron Man tech.
It
but
is.
It is Tony Stark in
Yeah,
Stark. What is it?
it is.
Star Tech.
It's just not. It's not a flashy tech, but it's nice tech. Well, average tech.
It's decent for him, but what's the point of him keeping that tech? He has enough powers already.
Well, honestly, the sad part about it is, well, I don't know the backdrop story history, but I mean, in the long scheme of things, does Spider-Man really needs it? The answer is no. because the healing factor he already has in it. But then again, depending on timing, we're in the comics, and maybe if Spider-Man's body was just at a certain age where he couldn't heal as fluent. Because like if you go look at Tom Holland's when I think though it was the second or like the third movie that they did the crossover with Spider-Man, Odin will send Hulk sliding down the Bifrost Bridge. Oh my god, this guy! You know what? I swear for God.
I wonder how he's going to send him down. Like face first or ass first?
Okay, here's the problem. We have enough issue with the fourth giant and other species. We don't want to have a new Hulk species in the Asgardian because that'll be half Hulk, half Valkyrie. You think they'll listen to anybody? That's thinking.
Yeah, it's called training with a sense of brain cells.
Let me repeat it again. Half Hulk, half Valkyrie. What
Yes,
side of
and
what side of the genetic will be overpowering?
that's what I'm saying. Again, well, let's be honest. Hulk is not a god, so let's get that straight.
I understand that Hulk is not a god, but Hulk is nothing but pure rage and power. So that being said,
True.
Odin do not want to have one race that he have no control over. So you don't need him knocking up all the high level beings to produce a new race of being that will be completely out of control.
Last time I checked, Loki was out of control, and what did Odin do then? Nothing. Thank you.
There's only one person.
Oh, it doesn't matter. He couldn't put him. He could have locked him down.
So imagine have a bunch of Hulk baby that are being born out of Valkyrie. They're not gonna be regular Hulk babies.
They probably won't be.
And you think Odin want to have that headache on his head? Yeah, I'm dealing with Loki. It's enough. Dealing with a
Well, let's
breed
get
of
one thing clear here. Hulk is a phenomenon that was built on banners like
bingo.
psyche. But okay, but you cannot
Keyword.
train a psyche.
Keyword phenomenon. And even that same phenomenon has struck fear in Asgard for a reason.
Yeah, for those that just
Uh-oh.
couldn't handle.
You hear what Eric said on this one? Hey, I don't know about this one. Asgardian blood is
Well, and once again, that is technically true because the gammas was pretty much coming mutated out of the mortal blood cells, anyways. But even then, I mean, just once again, you cannot sit here and say, "Oh, those kids are gonna go out of freaking touch. They're gonna go out of rage." Thor was even out of rage, and he had and Odin had to sit his behind down. So you're trying to tell me he won't sit down these motherfuckers? Man, all right.
okay. Talk about baby with Hulk DNA in it in the mix.
I'm gonna say this once.
You also you don't forget about She-Hulk either. If you're gonna talk
Remember, hold up. Remember, Hulk had a baby with that lady from the other planet. Remember?
somebody actually slept
What?
with him.
Yeah.
A couple
And
people.
That's scary.
that baby became indestructible. Meaning, imagine Hulk's son can sleep in lava. Yeah, let that sink in your head.
You know what I'm thinking right now, honestly? It's nothing sacred in the comic book world anymore.
In most cases, no.
Nah.
It's
So
enough said.
the fact that Hulk had a son who's so indestructible that he had to run from his own son because his son had a fit with his dad. You abandoned my mama. Oh shoot. That's what we didn't want to beat over his dad for.
Well,
Imagine the earthquake when he's whacking off.
We don't want to know. That's why he did it outside the Earth. Earth couldn't handle that.
Good point.
he couldn't. Yeah, shoot me. Space could, but he couldn't handle that either.
His chick that he have a child with, she could
That's
handle
just
it.
one. That was just one.
She loved it rough on a galactic level.
Yeah, that was one. There was another one that loved it rough too, but he couldn't last that long. Well, eventually he did though.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, I came to speak truth. I will not behold.
Eric, the writers don't blame us. You blame them. They had that imagination and they put it
They were
to.
probably fucked up.
Oh, trust me, Eric, if I would have got you the point of reference, you would lose your mind. Oh my god! Wait a minute. I gotta. No, they even had the clip on. They had the clip on YouTube. I gotta find that. But Lord have mercy. Oh Lord. Because yeah, there is definitely a point of reference. I forgot who the lady's name was, but Hulk was messing with one of the higher up galactic ladies, and trust me, he was over here stressing the first time around. I'm talking about stressing. Boy, it took him some millennia before he was actually like, okay, you ain't gonna beat me down now.
Because here's the joke. When I heard that he had a baby while he's still in Hulk mode with that lady on that other planet, first thing came to my mind, there's no such thing as soundproof. Issue is, do you have shockproof bed? You have shockwave proof windows?
It all depends. Was he clapping with his hands or he's clapping through thighs?
He was clapping with the hand.
Well, I don't know if he's making shockwaves with those, but I'm just saying that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure it's shockwaves. Because the lady that he did it with, she was a strong one. She couldn't take a hit from him. And she told him to call him out like, you're not hitting enough, you're not hitting hard enough. So imagine them in the bedroom.
They're getting stimulated enough.
Okay,
shockwaves were putting work.
We went from radar to X-ray tonight.
And just know this: that I may have played my part, but I was not the one that started this. Thank you very much,
David.
Well, I will call out the obvious why Hulk is not allowed in many places.
Issue and number, damn it! All right, hold on, let me find it.
Because the way they describe Hulk, even though he was a phenomenon, he would have no go to a lot of places. He's like, he's not allowed. And I was like, why is that? What is the roadmap of how they describe Hulk? Remember, Hulk has so many different levels to his power, which was ridiculous. Let's be fanatic about it. You have the Gray Hulk. You got the Hulk Bust. You got them all. What would I call it? You know what? Let me look it up. Many level or power up of the Hulk. I need to hear what they've been mentioned.
Incredible too. So let's say
Yeah,
whole different
yeah. Savage
conversation.
Hulk. Yeah, Savage Hulk, Classic Hulk. You got Gray Hulk is Joe Fixit. You got Professor Hulk merged with the Hulk. We got War Hulk. We got Warbreaker Hulk. You got the Immortal Hulk, Devil Hulk. You got Maestro. You got the Cosmic Hulk, which is crazy. And you got Dark Green Hulk. You got a Blue Hulk, Heart of the Monster Hulk, Hulk Machine. What? Waker of World Hulk, Sorcerer Supreme Hulk. Really? And the one below all possessed Hulk. And this one, it became a better of one below all, a godlike force of destruction. So this Hulk got so many power levels. They're the reason why Hulk is not wanted in many places. And you don't want too many offspring of Hulks.
So Sarah the Oldstrom, that is probably that's where Scar came out of that. Because that's where Hulk became. That's where the Planet Hulk storyline came in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the top relationship. I'm trying to find the actual one that had the other comic.
And here the power level. Let's say Savage Hulk is variation is high. Very base strength. Warbreaker Hulk is planetary, meaning he destroyed planet. Immortal Hulk near limitless. Maestro is massive. Cosmic Hulk is cosmic. Heart of Manta omnipotent. Really. And Breaker of Worlds universal plus. Galactic level threat. So you tell me that level the Hulk to achieve to the point whereby even Iron Man cannot stop him. Literally.
See, even the MCU are showing Hulk on a different level now, to the point that I think they're gonna make him so big he's gonna be uncontrollable at one point. Like, if you watch Captain America, the New World or whatever, they had oh man, what's his name?
I like that joke. The topic tonight is armor, so hit the brick banner.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this guy gets jokes tonight.
Yeah. He
Yeah, we
got
did
jokes.
hit that point.
Because
Is it
remember,
her? Is this her? Oh Lord, please let it be.
because here's the joke. If you want to be correct about it, Worldbreaker Hulk did have an armor on. It's almost like a classic armor, but with no regular armor.
The thing
And and
I
Eric and
found
Eric was correct. He don't need an armor, but they made one for him for some specific reason.
but what I think is kind of funny with the Hulk universe a little bit, Ross, his biggest enemy, General Ross, he became a Hulk later on.
Yeah, the Red Hulk.
Yeah, as the president, actually, I thought that was kind of hilarious.
But in the comic book, he wasn't a president. He became the Red Hulk. He was messing around with the gamma radiation. He got a different variation of the Hulk, and he wasn't the only one. There's another one who came to Abomination. But the problem with the Red Hulk and Abomination level is capped to a certain level. The Red Hulk is more nuclear, but it has some negative side effect whereby if he get too angry, he become very nuclear. Then he starts burning holes in the ground with his foot. He becomes super radioactive. So in other words, the Red Hulk variation is very, very toxic for the people around him. When Hulk gets angry, he's not toxic. It just
Yeah, you can
expands his
get
power.
that to Eric right there. That piece of little information.
Okay.
You want me to put it in the chat, or you want me to put it in a private chat?
Yeah, put in the chat. It's the Defender Volume 2, issue number 3, published in November 2005. There you go.
Yeah, Eric, have fun with that one.
Yeah, Volume 2 was a great one, limited for Hulk to a certain degree. Until here what I hate about the character Hulk, the way they created him. They created whereby the more you get him angry, the more powerful you get. So in other words, there's no limitation on how angry can you really get. And I find it broken, react me.
Broken. You know what I think is more broken? The Hulk movies.
True, but the character itself is broken. The reason why? How much rage do you want to bring out of a person to the point whereby it become like a mindless beast?
AKA the belly of the beast. How much have you withhold to the point that you have now raged?
No fun intended, too.
So there's some character in Marvel that you start to question, like, what was the purpose of all this? Right? Let me not call that one out. But another character is also broken. He's not allowed to speak.
Don't tell me you're talking about an Inhuman.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Well, hey, that's the price you have when you have a supersonic mouth. Keep it tucked in. God damn it.
And don't swallow. Now, here's my issue, or seriously, with the Hulk movies.
No, what? Shut up.
Oh.
Just shut up, Peter. Peter, you just right now you just did something real bad. You tell that guy for him don't swallow.
You've reached your limit on talking.
Like if he could, that's why I said keep it tucked in. Like literally, you're shot. Like put him anywhere near. You know what? That is a strip.
Listen,
And then some.
you
And
open
he-
your mouth,
and-
you let yourself open. I gotta make a joke.
And he's married. So question is, okay
Who?
then. The leader
Well, I'm
of the
just saying,
Inhuman.
Oh, he's married? Really? Really? He found someone to mesh with his mouth? Lord have mercy. I wonder how they go back and forth.
I don't want to know.
And you said I'm bad. I'm actually
I
innocent
would-
versus this guy.
You said out the word one. Look who the word one.
Hey, it's not my fault. We went from armor to talking a whole bunch of boing. It's the late night, so no.
But it is the problem. This is Marvel.
That part.
Marvel create a lot of broken characters. you see what Eric said?
No, Eric, you're wrong. If we get our live show, and we will eventually on TV, it's not gonna be dangerous. It's gonna be probably the most hottest hottest thing on TV. Excuse me. Listen, they say
Good.
worse things on TV now.
But the thing is, we're calling out the obvious. This is the man who had the most powerful. No, how is he married, but had the most powerful mouth?
You know what they say?
That's
It takes one simple O to make everything happen.
Or the other was saying like some people should have been swallowed instead. So, joking aside, seriously, let's get serious. One thing, I haven't. I'm not. We have a few minutes. I want to kill. Really get on my chest is, I have an issue with the Hawk movies. The first one,
that
it was
one
pretty bad. Let's be honest.
We had to have another show for that and dissect why the first one was done dirty.
But the second one, it wasn't a bad movie. But the actor who played the Hawk, Edward Northam, he was impossible to work with. He made every decision about the Hawk they had to rewrite because of him.
Let's be real. The first one was not according to the comic book. Was off.
Oh, absolutely.
It was off, but I'll say one thing though. At least that Hawk wasn't a bitch. He wasn't a bitch. He was in control. He was a man.
Do you think the second Hulk, Incredible Hulk, was a bitch? The Hulk?
I mean, no, I don't think neither one of them were. But I just think, like, when you really think about it, like, as far as looking at the old version and then now, it's like Banner from what we now have currently now is like he can't control how to switch over. But then our first Credible Hulk, he was able to converse and switch over. I guess that's just from okay, you're automatically saying you and Hulk are you know how to click into it. But then the second one is like, actually, there's two different personalities here. And then it's like, well, you have to do something to actually form your personalities to be one.
Time out. I think you got it backwards.
No, but remember, Incredible Hulk, the original Incredible Hulk, right? He was able to snap into it when he showed you he can snap into the green eyes towards the end of the movies. So that was one thing. He was able to snap into that. There was no
in Avengers. Remember, he said, "That's my secret. I'm always angry," and he literally went right into it.
Well, yeah, but that's as far as being angry. But that's not. But like when you're talking about synchronized, like you're synced like that. That's the difference. Like for Banner, it's like there has to be a trigger. But that's my whole point. I'm not saying like you can't do it at will. There has to be a trigger for that to happen. So for that sake, is like, okay, you're just gonna make that trigger, boom, 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 whatever, like that. But even in that trigger, it's not still you. It's just Hulk. You are absent. You're put in a nice conveniency. You're put in a nice chamber. You wait until you're told to come outside and play. All that type of BS. You're not synced. You're just there, just watching the back scenery and playing piggyback. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not a sync. So that's when I'm like. They sort of made him sort of weird. And then when they bring in She-Hulk, it's like, oh, she just perfectly just rolls right into it. I'm like, huh? Well, what do we do this at?
But she's always been like that.
But that's my whole. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. It sort of makes the Hulk look like a. Respectfully. But that's what I'm saying. But that's just me being a dick about it. But no.
All right, we're in the last 10 minutes. Let's get our final thoughts in. I'll let David go first.
Final thought. When we have this conversation about armor, it's not gonna be that very easy to dive into this. And I'm glad, Paul, you didn't come in because it's above your pay grade.
It's not above your pay grade. You could have mentioned a couple of
You're
people.
overpaid. Bullshit. You're way overpaid.
He could have look. Paul could have came in here and mentioned Garber. He could have mentioned Iron Man. He could have mentioned a couple of. You could have mentioned a certain group of people of armor. Don't tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. If we want to get it down, we have to list based on rankings and file of all the armor in these categories properly and make sure they have been properly tested. Because we can see in Marvel that a lot of different mentioned and some have not been mentioned need to be done thoroughly. Same thing with DC. But on the anime, the scale is too wide. We got a couple of anime franchises that we didn't mention, and they have long lists of armor. So when we start comparing on rankings and the ranking file, who should get what position, you have to really dissect it on their pros and cons and their ability and their strength level and where you want to put them in. That will be like, to be honest with you,
Paul,
on
you
the
don't
anime,
know Guyver?
on the,
Sir, good man. You don't know Guyver. Guyver. You don't know?
Guy will be
Blue
considered
Beetle?
on the top. No, Guy will be considered the top five. I didn't mention that, but if you want to start looking up all the anime that's out there that have armor, we have to do multiple round. Either we do like a block A, block B, block C, block D.
Oh no, but
Right?
that's the thing. Well, in this case of armor, based upon what we mentioned and discussed, we would have to talk about within the fundamentals of similar. What's the key word I'm looking for? Similar material.
Pretty much. So I would love to have that discussion when we have the people who can partake in it, whereby one be able to chart out each block of their own and start to list them all out based on what anime franchise they will be based on. $6 million man, see, that's another mention. You see what I'm saying?
Oh man.
He's bionic.
See,
I believe one time he did have an armor. This is what I'm talking about. This discussion. This discussion. See, G.I. Joe had a lot of armor, so let's not forget that part.
Well, looks like I'm about to go do some digging. You telling me something?
So this is why I said to have that real discussion, we really have to be in charge of what department will be in. You start putting out lists and start calling them out for what it is, because believe me, that will be a really tight discussions.
They consider that armor?
See, Paul is coming out right now. Like, seriously? And
I'm the
Paul,
young G to the OGs.
and
So
Paul
ergo,
said,
yeah.
and Paul said this above his pay grade. Now he getting to an argument right now.
See, he knows when he knows his armor. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. He knows his armor.
So, because I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, Black G.I. Joe is not an armor. First of all, it's a typical military suit uniform. Excuse me. So, I'm not that young. First of all, Dre, because I know my shit when it comes to stuff like this.
I'll tell you one thing: if they say snakes snooze and armor, I'm definitely for that. Because
what, Snake Eyes?
Yep.
Snake Eyes is definitely an armor. But like G.I. Joe guy, it depends which one you're talking about, which version. All of them don't have an armor. You show me one right now, and I'll prove you wrong.
And the Sigma 6 version of G.I. Joe, almost everybody in the team had armor.
It wasn't full armor. I
ain't that young. What the hell are we talking? Man, look here. I ain't young.
You see what I'm saying? This is why I said this is a very unique conversation. This conversation, it can't be among 3 people. You gotta bring at least 8 or 10 people in the conversation.
Well,
and they bring their list.
I send a link to a lot of people, but nobody wants to show up.
You gotta call them out. Say, don't be a punk about it, because this concerning your childhood.
So
Because
I'm turning in. It's like Charles Brown trying to kick the football in here. Well, well,
but this is why I'm saying there's so many things that we may have forgotten or we might have overlooked. Because if I want to dig through all the anime from the 80s to now, I would have to start combing from every anime from the 80s first and see which one the anime that have the list of armor. Put that to the side and get that
All right.
list. Same thing with the 90s.
So I got to roast coach here for a second. So that's not a fair statement because everybody in the military uses their armor as their powers. Duke is one of them. Snake Eyes is one of them. So I keep going. I'm gonna show you something right now. Trey, this is called a link. We have a few minutes still. If you still have this argument with me, please come up. Please. I
We need
double,
to
triple dog dare your Marine ass to get up here.
we need to reschedule this where we everybody bring their fact, because I did my little research and I didn't realize little is not enough.
No, it's fine. I couldn't find a lot on this to be honest with you guys either. So
This is
that's why.
it when you talk about armor, there's a long
Yeah,
list you will be coming through.
but
And you there's no button there, because if you were to do it properly, you had to do it like you're doing like a tournament. You got a block A, block B, block C, block D. Put all the anime in whatever block all the armor, whatever the block need to be. Let it compete amongst them based on ranking and file. Then from there, your top 5 or top 10 in each block, you combine them and start compare which one where they fall into play. Believe me, it's a lot on the anime side. And Marvel and DC, they too got armor that have not been mentioned. And remember, you mentioned you notice from Marvel on my list, the Blue Beetle was not mentioned, but Blue Beetle surpassed Iron Man armor. How come that's not on top? You see my point?
yeah, it's gonna be hard with that one. But let's get Wally in his opinions here.
wait. What's not going to be on top?
Let's get this guy's opinion in here. Go ahead, Coachy
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
boy.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
What's going on, man?
We
Yes,
can
you're
hear
nice
you.
and clear.
I mean, listen, man. I grew up in a time where, you know, didn't too
Yeah,
many
rabbit
people
ears.
have,
You know, TV on?
didn't too many, I guess, crime fighter heroes didn't have a armor per se. They had a uniform or
Yeah, I agree.
like a Batman style Superman. But I mentioned GI Joe because I was a kid, and it only lasted for about 2 or 3 seasons, if that. It was a black man with a beard and a mustache, grooming, looking just like yours. Everything. He had the full, you know what I'm saying? He had the full,
Oh,
and
I
it
think I
was,
know what you're talking about.
matter of fact, he looked like a little slimmer Wally, that little avatar he got right there. He looked like a little slimmer Wally.
Yeah.
But
He had some muscles. He
yeah,
was bald.
no, he ain't have a whole lot of muscles. He was just a solid built man. And he wore his army. It's like he only had on. He wore mostly the army T-shirt and the pants and the boots.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
So, and
Are
when
you
I
talking about
saw it,
heavy arms?
no, I'm talking about GI Joe.
Like my armor?
Isn't heavy
I,
arms?
I also had the. I don't know what heavy arms is. I used to. I don't know. He made me want to be muscular, and strong. Like I used to think everything. I used to be active. Nah, he wasn't like that. He was no. He ain't have all that technology. Wasn't that advanced with the super powered weapon. No,
It
he
wasn't
was
so.
just.
It was a minigun. A minigun has been around since 1800.
But he ain't have those technology tools. The military didn't have that. It was just a guy that did some hand-to-hand combat. You know what I'm saying? Showed his little military type of styles and stuff like that to fight. But
But
then from
again,
there,
my argument statement was he had no armor.
Yeah, he didn't have armor. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He didn't have armor. It was
Yeah,
more of a uniform. His uniform
I agree.
gave him abilities to sort of do certain things, as I saw it at the time. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
like oh my god, what is it called? Uh, David, help me out with the original GI Joe movie that had those suits.
It would be like a power suit.
Yeah, and that was a horrible idea. They've done that so many times with GI Joe, and every time they do it, bombs every single time.
And this is why I say you really had to dissect. I'm sorry, CQ and this side of people need to come into this conversation because if you comb the 80s, you comb through the 90s and start listening to all these cartoons that came out and the armor, you got to start comparing them down to the T. Same thing with Marvel, same thing with DC, same thing with, and this is why I said if I had to go to my anime section, I'm dealing with thousands upon thousands of anime. So I need to point out which franchise an anime that had armor, then from there, based on each anime, what the armor is like, and start getting detailed information and their strength level. And remember, I
Yeah,
said they classes them. Either you
yeah.
call it bronze level, silver, gold, platinum. You can call it, I don't know, S level, SS level, triple S level. It's they're the ranking system, and you have to see which ranking can be utilized properly.
hmm Wally, you want to get your final thoughts really fast, then?
Yeah, well, before I even put that into play, now you were saying earlier about Iron Man and Blue Beetle. Like, what was the contrary on that one? Oh, he just left.
Um, so I brought that up because I want to see what word level you guys thought about it with me and David at the time. David thinks Blue Beetle is at a different level, it's like God level almost, because it's an alien and it's really doesn't have a limit to his power.
No,
Right?
I remember seeing the video. No, 'cause I just wanted to make sure on the context of what David was speaking on, because there was because when I heard the clip that y'all brung up, I heard the clip. The only problem is with the argument was, I mean, if we're just saying on a standstill of just a traditional Iron Man suit, I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, Blue Beetle wins. But if you're talking about alien tech armor suit of Iron Man, well, that's somewhat different. I think that's a time of difference.
But based on that video, it brought down the obvious fact that the Blue Beetle armor is not no regular armor. It has a life of its own, a brain on its own,
Oh yeah, no, I know that.
and it can hack any other person's armor.
Right.
And they have been mentioned several times. Iron Man armor has been hacked.
True. But see, notice that's based upon a basic everyday Iron Man suit.
And here the problem with this one: the Blue Beetle armor is very adaptable. It evolved as time progressed.
Very much true. But
So
my
you
thing,
don't,
the argument that I'm putting up there.
but here the argument you want to give me, but where it become problematic. To have an armor that adapt to the battle and evolve as time progress through the battle. It's not a normal suit to begin with.
Oh, that's obvious. That is very much obvious. But that's my whole point. You're dealing with alien tech. My thing is Iron Man compared to alien tech, he gonna get beat every single time, 10 out of 10. But my thing is when you level up Iron Man's suit past that, that's the difference. And that's what I'm saying. Because again, there has been alien tech that Iron Man does have.
Yeah, that's true. But remember, this is Blue Beetle. You don't even know the full range of how far it goes. That's why I say it have not been properly flushed out.
Same thing as Iron Man and his aliens too, in his alien tech suits.
Now, I'll give you that argument too.
Because literally,
Not,
like, if we want to talk about alien tech suits, put up Iron Man with the Venom alien tech suit.
now you see what I said. There will be a thorough conversation. There need to be more people who are heavily diverse in this type of argument. And
And that's what I'm saying.
and you have to have a chart system. I mean, we have to have a chart system that we keep on keeping checked up and stop updating the ranking system as time progress. So is something I would introduce on this channel. If we can have a ranking system overall, and we it properly update as time progress, when we find detailed information, is that I'm gonna get elevated to the next level or get demoted? it had to be done that way because when we were having this whole conversation, the Blue Beetle armor was not even mentioned in our church, but yet it's out there and that's top ranking.
Or did you just overall just put in the best armored suit, or you said what?
No, I put in with the top 10 or top 20 most powerful suit on Marvel and Indeed, and it would give me the list. But when I saw it on Marvel, it never mentioned Blue Beetle, and I find that strange. Why Blue Beetle was
Blue Beetle's
overlooked?
DC. What we're talking about here?
Oh yeah, DC. You're right. My
David.
mistake. No, my mistake. My mistake.
Because literally,
All right, guys.
Marvel, the only thing that's blue is Blue Marvel. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, look, this was definitely an iron suit. I had to just come in here and just make sure I was hearing what I was hearing earlier, because the moment I heard Naruto and suit put together, I was like, wait, what? What? I had to make sure on some clarity, because I was like, there's no way they're gonna sit here and say those, but apparently they did, and I'm like, okay, well, I still don't call them suits unless it's being wrapped around body, and they're not. They're protectors, they're titans, however you want to look at it. But I just don't consider them suits pertainingly. But in that format of that anime and all that matches up, by all means. But with that said, yeah, came in here, throw a little bit of it, whatever I could throw in here, and definitely came in here with a whole lot of jokes since we went there. Because let's be honest here, it's never not a good show when you don't throw in the sauce at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I've done my job.
That's too much of a job.
I wish I had something to say, but I don't right now.
Hey, just simple.
You don't trust me. You don't.
It goes the same way, you know. You go do it. Look, that's what I'm saying. It's like douche Bigelow, right? You just crack a couple of eggs, you just whip it, and then
And this
Okay,
is why I say we need. This is why we say we need some female who can even out the argument, who are knowledgeable like we are. Because sometimes we go, and I know if we have female, I know why they're gonna laugh. They're gonna mention some Sailor Moon armor, which I may not want to agree.
oh, so they wait. Solomon is considered armor. Wait, let me check this out.
Oh
Oh,
Lord,
Jesus Christ.
You're the one that mentioned it. I gotta check to see if that's true.
this is where my brain start to unlock a lot of things that I mean to overlook. This is why I said they have to be done the proper way. You'd be surprised.
No,
Yeah,
armor.
no armor.
No armor.
Yes.
Protection, but no armor. Ladies and
I'm just.
gentlemen, as always, you know, CBN, he's out here just throwing shade on Sailor Moon, even though they're just girls in skirts. Let them be girls in skirts, goddammit. Let them be girls in skirts, man.
Baby, do you ever think about these?
I guarantee you, if there was some air blowing on them damn skirts, you would look every single time. Don't you
I
dare.
wouldn't. No,
Oh, you lucky. You tried.
I was send a Hulk over there.
But David, do you ever think about women and like I think you're
No,
like a
no,
little
no, no, no,
sexist
no, no.
there.
I'm not sexist. Here's the problem.
You're
I
scared to
watch.
go there.
No. I like.
Are you scared, woman?
action. No. Here's the problem.
It is Proud Day tomorrow for you.
No, here's the problem. I like action. I like sci-fi. I like things that are more rational. Some of these female anime rub me up the wrong way with their theme, and Wally knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's okay with it. A group of guys like him, he's okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I don't even do too well with it. I'm looking at it like, really?
Yeah.
The,
All right.
the only exception is Shiva, the cousin to He-Man. That's the only exception.
Wait a minute, that's the only exception.
Yes.
How?
What type of shit?
Don't start right now. Don't start.
You already started it for yourself.
Won't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Too late. You already started it. He's saying
Remember,
it's the only exception. Yet he just named Kill earlier, and last time I checked, that's a female in a skirt.
Shira
Body
have
armor?
the sort of power, which is similar to the He-Man sort of power as well. They consider to be cousin.
Okay.
I'm going
No,
based on the old version, not the newer version that they made it more on Netflix. I'm not following that.
Okay.
And that's another storyline that I'm surprised they didn't follow suit with that one. When they further on went on the He-Man storyline to see how it supposed to end, they left out she was also part of that storyline as well. But for some period, I don't know what the writer is trying to put out there, but that is another storyline that have not been touched properly. And I grew up watching that back in the 80s.
So yeah, I think I say this when I ask, what does that have to do with the comparison of other females?
The thing behind the thing that flowing behind it, no, it wasn't like action pack, it's more fan service.
So what you're trying to sit here and say is she fitted her element perfectly, which allows you to watch it. Ergo's meaning you're sexist. You bastard.
I'm not sexist.
But Dave, I got correct you. That's not his cousin. This is his twin sister. Yes.
Oh, time to do some research.
Look it up. I put $100 on it right now.
But that's weird because in this storyline, they only talk about he had a son. They mentioned they're having 2 kids.
Right here. Oh, sorry, wrong. I highlighted the wrong one. He-Man is the twin brother of She-Ra, right here.
Yep, he's right.
I see it, but I'm shocked because
I'm not.
Because the one that did in Netflix, they never mentioned about him having a son and daughter. Remember that?
The Netflix one.
Yeah, they had the one
I
Netflix
haven't
where he
seen
put.
that one, but the OG original from 85 to 87, She-Ra was his twin brother.
And now you see what I say when people take certain thing and not keep it to the storyline and they just let me just write it off.
Obviously, David, I get
Well,
that.
you're saying in the net. Well, as far as the Netflix that you're talking about, the reason why they didn't include him is because of separate licensing. So that's why they didn't have him in the story.
Oh,
most likely. All right, guys, let's close out. Let me do a quick schedule update and let's get out of here. All
No
right,
problem.
tomorrow night. Let me get my phone because I have that one saved on my phone actually. Tomorrow night we're talking about, is it selfish to have kids if you're not financially stable?
AKA Pookies.
Yeah, pretty much. Not Pookies, because Pookies are like going after the Stephanie McMahon woman.
So in this case, what he's really trying to say is, okay, is it right to have kids without being financially stable, aka having jungle fever,
or no dick discipline?
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Why you think the Maury was so famous?
Who?
The Maury show was so famous.
Maury.
And Jerry Sprinter.
Jerry. Now, see, Jerry was a war zone. I fuck all that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Cousins were fucking each other out.
Oh my goodness.
You're sleeping with
fight
your.
For legit.
Now,
they just let them fight.
I'll give an honorable mention. Everybody to look out for the interview with MTR did with Maury Popovich. He did an interview with him and asked a lot of questions. Now that Maury doing a podcast now, so I'll say
I don't
watch
see them
that.
as weak women. I see them as strong, coming back every single time, getting embarrassed over and over, fighting for their kids to find a fatty. Oh my goodness! I ain't gonna lie.
But Jerry was a classic because cousins were sleeping with cousins, brothers and sisters were fucking each other. It was all over the fucking place.
But
on Tuesday, guys,
go ahead.
We will be going over fit in style, the modern gym dress code for women.
Wally, you coming in for that one?
Yeah, you are. You can recruit it. You can recruit me.
Y'all cute. Look, have fun with that, ladies. Understand your clothing, aka your tights, aka the newest little freaking figure that y'all have wearing. Look here. Y'all know what y'all doing with them damn things. Put it away.
And on your show, guys, you're going to be going over Zori this week. So I'm actually looking forward to that conversation.
That's a classic. You know
Where
how-
mech and beast meet and clash together.
Because there's several shows, different universes of Zoids. I just found out recently in that. So
Yes, indeed.
and
I
I
watch
wonder
it
if
with
you guys.
all- I watch
I'm
it with
really
all of them.
wondering if you guys can go over that. And on
Oh.
Thursday, Paul and Coach are going to be going over the modern jet code.
Oh, the modern dress code.
Yes, thank you. Pretty much, make sure you dress up right.
Last
And-
Thursday's show was very interesting. Was very traumatizing.
So, and next Saturday, Angry Elf will be coming back after his short retirement, I call it. And we're going to be talking about one of his favorite shows. He will be wearing his jumpsuit, the Ghostbusters. Yes,
boy.
I kind of forced him to wear. He has to wear his jumpsuit. He said.
Oh, Lord.
Except that, David, anything else?
Wednesday should be a classic reintroduction of an anime that have been overlooked.
Agree. Wally?
I won't be there Tuesday, but once again, ladies, you know what you're doing. Stop it. Stop. Wear shorts like everybody else. God damn it.
Well,
that don't work either. That don't work either.
About you not coming in. That's going to be a conversation for private.
That don't work either.
Except, guys, I am Ghost Sparty.
Put it
He
in
is
the-
Black David. He is Wally. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next
I'll
one.
see them cheeks by next week.